Allora, signori, sono stato a fare dei lavoretti e adesso sono tornato. Allora, in realtà sono tornato eh, all'una, tipo. Sono tornato all'una, penso. E, no, di mezzogiorno e 40, non so. E mi sono fatto questo. E va. Non ho avviato lo stream. Sono contento, ho fatto bene secondo me. Ieri a fare così. Ah, vabbè, tengo un attimo la telecamera così. E niente, nel senso che adesso sono qua e domani faccio di nuovo tutto il giorno. Mizzica, porca miseria che era ora. Grazie, ti adoro. C'è solo quel posto lì però. E invece lui cosa fa? Aspetta. Il tempo impiegato si riduce da 25%. No, pensavo che dava più. O mettiamo gli run a fare i soldi, ma tanto. Finalmente. Cioè, preferisco avere una persona che ci impiega. Ma quello lì dei 14 ore non è poi così male, però. Vedere tutti quei tesori. Vabbè. E come dicevo prima, domani non ci sarò. Questa sarà l'ho già annunciato, ma sarà la penultima volta. E poi si tornerà con possiamo dire, una routine penso normale. Non lo so. Ieri ho fatto la notte, ho streamato un po' con voi. Questo lo, questo lo sapete. E aiuta il piccolo me. E adesso facciamo missioni giornaliere. E niente, come ho detto ieri, appunto, io ho detto, sono stato mezz'ora in più, 40 minuti in più alzato per farmi il cacciatore di tagli, eccetera. Ne valsa la pena perché oggi ho deciso così di, insomma, già ieri dovevo fare la commissione che ho fatto oggi, però oggi sono stato di più e ci sta. Tempismo perfetto. Chiedimi qualsiasi cosa, ragazzi. Il viaggio è molto lungo, ho bisogno di alcune medicine. Mal di testa, diarrea. Vai alla farmacia BW e mi prendi qualcosa? Andiamo? Ci sta? Allora, ieri abbiamo visto per l'ultima volta cosa? Sun Yun, come si chiama? Però Kerr non è venuto con lei e dice che in giro a lui non l'ho ancora vista. Piacerebbe vederla in giro per capire il perché non è voluta venire, cioè lo sappiamo il perché. Ehm, Beh, all'inizio si è offesa. E poi c'era col clan, eccetera, si è offesa. Poi niente. Sto cercando. No. Salve, state cercando un rimedio a base di erba. Piccolo Meng, cosa ti porta? E ora ricordo. Dico per la medicina, non preoccuparti, sono tutte. Sono corto di menta. È arrivato il momento di entrare in azione. Punto di te su recuperare la. Stavo per dire l'erba. Scusate. ce ne sono altre dove queste. Hai trovato la menta? Sì. Guarda, proprio giusta giusta. Ah. Vabbè, grazie. E questa basterà. Metterò nel prossimo lotto le medicine contro i colpi di calore. Va bene? Perché vanno su mero, giusto? Aspetta un attimo, Meng, che c'è? Non hai detto che devi controllare le medicine? Non hai ancora dato un'occhiata alle liste sul retro. È passato così tanto tempo a controllarle. Ce ne sono ancora altre. Continuiamo a esaminare, va bene. Povero. Vuole crescere. Momento che qua è distruggi l'avversario. Eliminalo, spacca tutto. Oh, in camera c'ho 27 gradi, fuori ce n'è 19. Io veramente, non lo so, sta camera è qualcosa di incredibile. Tra mezz'oretta dovrebbero comunicarmi che orario, che posto devo andare per lavorare. Se mi comunicano di nuovo che devo fare la notte, un'oretta, mezz'oretta alzati ancora. Ah no, è una prova a tempo. Ah, se vuole prova a tempo che più distruggi gli avversari, giusto? Ah, però al contrario. Bam! Povera Coco, mi la tratto sempre male sta ragazza. La tratto sempre male sta. Allow me. Sì, ma scappano sempre tutti via, fanno veramente schifo sti robi. Hello my friend. Mizzica ho provato un po' appunto nelle linee geomantiche io e Mia. Prima faceva già male. Ma adesso è un mostro. Porca miseria. Cioè, non respawnano. Sai che prima schiacciavo a caso. Cioè, schiacciavo a caso. Continuavo a schiacciare il tasto dell'attacco sul mouse. E riammazzavo ancora prima che respawnavano, no? Quindi che riammazza. Sì, riammazzavo. Insomma, a seconda del nemico lo ammazzavo. Adesso anche quelli grossi, quelli lì che abbiamo affrontato con nell'avventura di Jin, quelli che sembrano venire da Prince of Persia, ehm, quelli lì sei fortunato che one shot ancora prima che respawn, cioè nel senso che ti vedi il corpo di questi qua che si materializza, il tempo che si materializza sono già morti. Fanno già l'animazione che cade per terra, è qualcosa di assurdo. Però dipende, nel senso che appunto devono essere vicino alla cosa di Kokomi, eccetera. Se no non funziona. Perfetto. Già prima faceva così, ma adesso è all'ennesima potenza. Devo proprio salire a sta montagna. Il teletrasporto qua. È un mo', cioè anche i nemici grossi. Beh, quelli sono nemici grossi, ma altre categorie di nemici grossi. Oh, via. Morto. Non so se è una buona idea. Facciamo così e ci arrampichiamo. Perché non c'ho voglia di farmi 200 metri. È assurdo. Sono contentissimo. Io e Mia. Adoro io e Mia. Non so cosa. È fantastica sta ragazzotta. Tanto poi quando finiamo le missioni di coso la cambiamo. Poi la cambiamo. Però per adesso sto team sta andando alla grande, ci sta. Tutti incavolati. pensavo prima, abbiamo Bennett C6, ma devo mettere il C6, però non sono sicuro perché mi hanno detto che è una pessima idea e che non devo farlo. Mi piacerebbe fare lo stesso perché mi piacerebbe avere sai quei personaggi tipo che cacchio ne so, Diluc. Sarebbe bello averlo in team del genere che, insomma, creazione elementare a go-go perché... Però il problema appunto è che eh, non puoi usare in alcuni team. Quello sì. Tipo non puoi metterlo più con Ayaka, ma dettagli. Incarichi giornaliere completato. E niente, nel senso che, boh, ci pensiamo un po'. Ieri mi ha dato Yelan, o Yelan. Ehm, niente. Diciamo che ho promesso di costruirla, penso che la costruiamo. Perché insomma, ho usato un po' di primo gem per usare. Più che altro perché mi piaceva la sua missione avventura, quindi mi sono detto dai, è un personaggio che mi piace, l'ho fatto. Devo proprio saltare, ho detto vabbè dai. Allora poi l'ho ottenuto. Di solito non vado quasi oltre, però almeno lo stesso. E che Tartaglio e Jonglin non mi interessano, cioè, come ho detto ieri ci sta il fatto che ha salvato Xiao rispetto, ma io sarà da 300 e passa episodi, anche di più, molti di più, che non ho un personaggio Geo, non ho mai avuto un personaggio, cioè, no anzi, Ao Junjin. Però a parte quello non è che non mi piacciono, preferisco la relazione elementare che avere gli scudi. Cioè, preferisco fare danni, tanto la base è che onestamente fai una reazione elementare, li fai tribulare che li fai inciampare, come succede con Kirara. È lo stesso. Kirara fa lo scudo, quello sì. Ma tralasciando quel dettaglio lì ci sono dei personaggi che fanno dei personaggi che sblocchi che sono reazioni elementari eccetera. Ti fai tipo anche io e Mia quando c'hai i, i fatui, i messaggeri dei fatui, come si chiamano? Con spammi dell'arco non riescono a fare più niente, rimangono lì istantaneamente finché non muoiono, è bellissimo. A me non mi servono, scusa, se c'ho quelle cose lì. Non so, io non sono tipo da scudi, eccetera. Ma anche nei giochi in generale, boh, non mi piace. Skyrim, per esempio, è anche un altro gioco che lo scudo mi sarebbe sempre piaciuto farlo, ma non l'ho mai capito. Quindi l'ho lasciato sempre aperto. Va bene. Penso che siamo a posto. Andiamo a fare... Allora, abbiamo due cose. In realtà il gioco ci sta chiedendo anche questo. Blocca una nuova modalità di gioco. Mm. Non c'ho tanta voglia, voglio tirare con l'avventura, quindi penso che faccio così. Parla con Caterina su me. Sì, perché mi è uscito appunto quella roba lì. A parte che qua abbiamo sbloccato tutti tranne ovviamente annunceranno, non metteranno quelli lì di Fontaine, presumo qua piano piano. Ah, mi dispiace che non c'è il... non abbiamo ancora il, questo. Voglio troppo sbloccare le cose di io e mie. Mi hanno detto che è bellissimo quella missione lì. Però non lo so. Perché non ho mai... Ho visto forse 10 secondi di quella missione lì su YouTube per sbaglio. Boh. Andiamo a parlare con la nostra robot preferita. Yes. Abbiamo scoperto che Catherine non ha robot. Ci sta. Cioè, insomma, it's kinda creepy, quindi ci sta fino a un certo punto. Sentiamo cosa ci dice. Il pappagallo.
Ad Astra Abyssosque. We meet again, you two.
Hi, Catherine. Do you have any commissions for us today?
Commissions, huh? Let me think. Oh, how about this? Please attend the Academia's Academic Symposium this afternoon and recite a love poem on stage.
What? Siguro.
Wait, say what now?
What?
And if possible, please also use your camera to capture the reaction of the audience upon finishing the poem.
Ok.
Huh? What kind of commission is that?
Il pubblico non mancherà di farsi dire.
I see. It appears that you're not interested in this commission.
Ok, quindi.
In that case, please go to Port Ormos and convince the Eremites there to spend some time volunteering at the local orphanage.
Hey, that's not any better.
Ma scenari montoriati negli orfanotrofi sono due cose incompatibili.
I'm sure the mercenaries will have some interesting reactions as well.
Paimon's gotta ask, just who exactly has been submitting these commissions to the Adventurers Guild?
Oh, the commissioner? Well, actually, I just wanted to see the two of you in action.
Mi sa che sei naida, vero?
Was it so obvious? I was hoping you would actually take one of those commissions. That kind of chance to observe humans doesn't come by often.
Sì, poesia d'amore per chi, spiegami. Mi piace che c'ha la stessa voce di Catherine, però infatti la prima volta che l'ho incontrata ho detto ma non ho sentito la differenza. Comunque adesso quando poi esce Narida la voglio troppo perché è tipo 20 e simpaticissimo. Da una parte è migliore di 20 perché non è ubriaca eccetera. Non si ubriaca eccetera, è simpaticissimo.
Ah, so it's Nahida. Paimon just knew Catherine wouldn't crack those kinds of jokes. When did you get into her head?
Mi piace che vada a Caterina perché è una robot, però insomma. Ci sta.
From when she said, Ad Astra Abyssosque? So it's been you this whole time? Are you done resting up, Nahida? Yes. I've been sleeping ever since we parted ways, and I even had a really, really long dream.
Quindi ieri, tipo. Quindi la caccia non è in grado di privare i sogni degli dei.
It was another dream about the Sub-Zerus festival, except it was a happy one.
Ancora?
In my dream, I was sitting in the middle of a flower terrace, and everyone in Sumeru City was holding hands as they danced in circles around me. They danced round and round, and everyone looked really happy. I also got to sit on a gigantic flower carriage. Ferris, the Knight of Flowers, raised me really, really high above the ground, and I was throwing an endless amount of Yalda candies at the children.
Seems legit.
You know, Nahida, maybe your dream is how the Sub-Zero's festival really should be. It's meant to be a joyous time where everyone gets together to celebrate your birthday.
In realtà,
Huh? Wasn't I describing a really happy dream? Why are you both looking at me like that? Wait, could this be an example of the emotion known as pity?
wait.
No,
Troppo happy.
we aren't pitying you. That would only make everything worse. We just don't want you to feel too sad. By the way, have you had a chance to visit Dunyarzad? How's she doing? The Homiyanis haven't allowed any visitors after the festival, so we haven't been able to check on her.
You Maiani. I'm alive. Posso
Yes,
posso poco di
I had her visit right
cioccolato.
after I woke up.
Adesso
She was resting at the time.
scusa, appena mi sono
Her
svegliato.
condition is stabilized. However, since Elazar is a manifestation of the withering on the human body, we can only cure it by finding a way to take care of Irminsul's own withering.
Abbiamo provato con Yarana, qualcosa siamo riusciti a fare.
But for the moment, our top focus should still be figuring out what the sages are up to and what they're planning.
Mi.
Right. Who knows what'll happen if they manage to pull off another scheme like the Samsara of the Sub-Zero's festival?
So our first priority should be investigating and putting a stop to the sages' activities. As for how we should pull that off, let's discuss it somewhere else. There are too many adventurers around here.
Di nuovo Caterina all'attacco.
Oh, good point. Sorry, adventurers. We're gonna be borrowing Catherine for a little while.
Ci serve Caterina. Sogni, senso di vuoto e inganno. Continua a parlare con Naida altro.
Let's continue our chat here.
Sto a pulirmi un po' il grugno. Quando poi fa un po' più fresco chiudo le porte, però insomma se sentite rumori eccetera non mi ammazzo.
Okay, so do you have any ideas on how we can investigate the sages, Nahida?
Actually, I've already done a little bit of work on that. But for now, I want to hear your thoughts.
Va bene, è simpaticissima lei. In modo di prendere il controllo di una persona importante dell'Armenia potresti prendere il controllo di uno studente. Magari possiamo catturare una persona e interrogarla. No. Hai modo di prendere il controllo di una persona importante dell'Accademia?
I've already tried that. But all the key members of the Academia, even the core 30 guards, intentionally avoid wearing their Akasha terminals.
Allora serve
It seems
qualcuno di
like
basso
from the very
livello.
beginning, they've been guarding against info leaks from the Akasha. Of course, it could also be because they're wary of me.
Mi.
Have you already caught the sage's attention?
I'm guessing not yet, but distrusting me would make perfect sense if they've ever paid attention to the urban legends about me.
Leggende parlano chiaro. Diffidare di me è la cosa più prudente.
In any case, I probably can't take over their minds directly.
Prendere il controllo di uno dei studenti?
No way, that's too risky.
Ok.
You mean it'd be too easy to get caught?
No, it's not that. We shouldn't involve innocent students in this. A single mistake could completely ruin their lives.
Ah,
Doing that would be ignoring the safety of my people for my own selfish goals. How is that any different from what the sages are doing?
mm,
That's a good point. Spoken like the god of Sumeru.
yeah. Allora presumo, però catturare non voglio. Cioè, diciamo per cattivi fini. E poi ancora peggio qua, prendiamo una persona.
We're in the dark as of now. Since we still don't know anything about their goals, any rash move could tip them off and lead to terrible consequences.
A parte che forse se entri nel gruppo dei 30 che fai quella missione lì, magari puoi continuare bene sta misma che cacchio.
After all, every person in Sumeru City is one of their hostages.
Mi viene in mente altro. Può darsi che sì, devo farmi quella missione lì. Ma...
Are we really out of ideas? Nahida, you're super smart, so you already have something in mind, right? Don't keep us in suspense. Spill the beans already.
Throw the beans.
According to a popular theory from the Vahumana Darshan of the Academia, rejecting impractical motions at the beginning of a planning session will give more weight to the actual proposal.
Citare suggerimenti impraticabili all'inizio della discussione di un piano dà molto più peso alla proposta concreta.
Okay. But
Ok.
aren't you the god of wisdom? You don't have to use that kind of gimmick to make us take your ideas seriously.
Mhm.
Well, I've been thinking that if I can't directly possess the leaders, and if I can't get ordinary people involved,
Presumo che prenderai il nostro controllo perché sei matta.
then I should find someone who's already involved, but hasn't decided to side with the sages.
You're saying we should recruit a spy? That does sound like it could work.
Cos'è? Degno?
Oh, before coming back, we met someone named Alhaitham. He seems like he acts alone, and he likes doing stuff behind the Academia's back. They probably aren't in cahoots.
Actually, I already have someone in mind. Do you still remember that female scholar named Sataria?
Mhm.
Sataria. Paimon remembers now. Isn't she the one who's always trailing behind the Grand Sage of the Academia? We ran into her basically every time the Sub-Zero's festival repeated itself. You could even say we're old enemies by now.
Ah, quella lì, sì.
Paimon still remembers the smug and mean way she always spoke to Nilu.
My God.
I've always liked observing all kinds of people, and Sataria has always stood out from the crowd. She was born in the desert and was hailed as their greatest genius. Her academic gifts allowed her special admission into the Academia, and it also gave her the opportunity to serve as the sage's assistant.
Fa ridere che vuole essere serio, no? Poi ogni tanto escono frasi come
Oh, Paimon didn't know she was from the desert. She must be pretty special then. Paimon feels like most of the desert dwellers around the city are working as mercenaries.
The name Sataria means star. When she lived in the desert, she shone like the brightest star in the night sky.
Il firmamento.
Later on, she was chosen by the sun. The star was given a place in the daytime sky to complement the sun's dazzling light.
La luce abbaia.
Soon after, the star witnessed the sun scorching the earth, which brought forth many disasters.
Quindi avrà sua trentina d'anni questa qua, perché si è vista queste cose qua. Beh, la roba lì, eccetera, del deserto, eccetera, è... Cos'è, 300? No, non mi ricordo.
The star began to waver. Instead of staying beside such a sun, wouldn't it be better to return and light up part of the night sky? But in the end, she couldn't give up the radiance of daytime. To cope with her shame, the star buried her guilt and closed her eyes.
Ci sono i veri pensieri di Setare, non è vero?
of it, Sataria's just hung up on the research opportunities here. But she doesn't really support the academia. She still feels guilty about not doing more for the desert, right? She's just running away from her problems.
Vuoi capire tanto con cosa succede poi succederà poi con Aita, no?
Indeed. When they are presented with complex moral issues, many people will simply plug their ears and go with the flow until the problem can't be fixed anymore. She's suppressing a lot of guilt, but before she realized it, she had already become the sage's accomplice. She can't deny her part in their schemes anymore.
Ma la persona giusta, Naida.
Right. We
Ok.
must somehow make her face her problems again. That way, not only can we get useful intel from her, but she can also use it as an opportunity to redeem herself. From my past observations, Sataria will take a day off from the academia every 10 days to do some shopping in the city.
Ogni 10 giorni, wow. Arrivo. Ogni 10 giorni, alla faccia.
Tomorrow afternoon just happens to be a shopping day for her. That'll be our chance. To prepare, let's go check out some of her favorite spots and have a quick chat with a few of the vendors there.
Raccogli informazioni come richiesti da Naida. Pick up. C'è la bambina lì. Si capo. Vado leggendomi a
This should be
riposare.
Sataria's favorite fortune-telling spot.
So should we ask the fortune teller about Sataria?
Meno male che ieri ho detto che avevamo tutto il tempo che volevamo.
No, I already have enough information on Sataria. The most important thing now is for you to pay attention to the vendor's talking style and key characteristics.
Ok.
Talking style and key characteristics?
My poor lost lambs. Have you become troubled over your fates?
Ma è un indovina sta bambina.
The divine voice of wisdom often echoes between mine ears. If thou be blessed today by the gods, I may be able to show you the way.
Adesso Naida si mette a ridere.
Huh? Really? Nahida, you've been whispering things to her?
Shh. My friend here has some doubts regarding his future. Can we get a fortune reading for him?
Io ho messo di nuovo la voce.
Of course, of course. In that case...
Course. Meow meow.
It would seem that Harut and Marut are quite wary of you. Perhaps, at some time in the past, you have somehow offended the gods.
Only mocking the god of Animo, questioning the lord of Geo's financial savviness, and brawling with the god of Electro.
Esatto, contano andare in giro racconti a Neo, mettere in discussione la conoscenza finanziaria del signore Girazzi passi.
Oh, nothing. Go on, pick an aspect for her to divine.
Sulla salute o sull'amore? Non lo so. Facciamo quella più deficiente perché sono un deficiente.
Love prospects? No problem at all.
Io sono giusto perché sono un deficiente.
The gods have spoken. The truth shall be revealed.
My God.
One who is fated to cross your path will appear on... Huh? So many people will fall for you. How could that be?
What the fuck? Tutte ste persone. Quindi parliamo di Genshin, parliamo di Aya, parliamo di Iguan.
Harut, Marut, did you two spoil my divination? I've never read a fortune so absurd.
Michael. Oh.
Actually, Paimon thinks this is probably the most accurate fortune telling you've ever done.
Ita piace a tutti, I guess.
I admit that the orientation of today's celestial matrix is suboptimal. As such, there will be no charge.
Is that so? Well, that can't be helped.
That can't be helped.
If you were to bring some food offerings for Harut and Marut on your next visit, perhaps they could help you reverse the wheels of fate.
È stato curioso salute. Però adesso perché volevo fare la scemenza.
I've never seen Harut and Marut be so wary of anyone.
Volevo solo provare la scemenza.
Is this another one of Sataria's favorite stalls?
Yep, it belongs to a king. His father helped Sataria a lot when she first moved to Samari City, so she still comes by whenever she has time. When I start talking with him, listen carefully to the details of our conversation.
Ok. Sospettoso.
Ah, dear customers.
L'altro.
Would you like to look at some pottery?
Mike.
We caught wind of your great craftsmanship, so we specifically came to take a look.
Oh, I recognize you. Aren't you Miss Catherine from the Adventurers Guild? Sounds like I'm in for some big business.
Speaking of, where did you learn this trade?
I suppose you could say it all started with my dad. He's a mason by trade, but I picked up an interest in clay while apprenticing for him. After that, I began making pottery by myself in secret, and I simply changed trades when my works turned out well. Although it's a pity that I'm no longer making much use of the knowledge provided to me by the Akasha.
Semplicemente, anche se è peccato che non stia più utilizzando le conoscenze fornite.
That's nice. You're making a living doing something you love.
Yeah.
So is your father still working as a mason?
Oh no, not anymore. A few years back, he fell from a roof and broke his leg. Since he had already saved enough mora over all these years, he's just enjoying the retired life in Port Ormos nowadays.
I see. We wish him peace and happiness in his retirement. I'll have someone in charge of logistics at the guild come by another day for some goods. We'll leave you to it. Take care now.
Qualcuno della logistica. C'hanno anche la logistica. Sono organizzati sti.
No problem. Rest easy, all our goods are sure to meet your every need.
Quella lì la conosciamo, mi sbaglio.
This should be our final stop. Sataria's always thinking of this restaurant when she's working at the academia, so she always comes by whenever she's out in the city.
Prova fame, I guess.
Nahida, you've really thought of everything.
It's my duty to protect Samari's citizens, after all.
È troppo forte, Naid.
Hi there. I feel like I've seen you down by the docks before. Huh? Sorry, I don't quite remember. If I recall, you were having a discussion with someone about shipbuilding at the time.
Ah, that's right! I've always been really interested in feats of marine engineering.
Engineering.
After all, I grew up in Liyue Harbor and spent my entire childhood staring at the ships going in and out of the port. I came to Sumeru to study, but failed to make it into the academia due to my lack of talent.
Ah, vedi lui,
But
un po'
I'm
sì,
still
no?
discussing all kinds of problems with different scholars. And I'm continuing to study and perform research from the restaurant's basement. I'm sure I'll get into the academia after their next round of exams.
Ci sta.
What an admirable spirit for learning. Amazing.
Amazing.
Sure, but you'll find hardworking people wherever you go.
So this restaurant has a basement as well? Huh. First I've heard of it.
That's right. It's not usually open to patrons. Most of the time, employees use it for breaks or to hold private events.
I see. Yes, that makes sense. Well, good luck with your studies, Miss Chishan.
Thank you so much. As long as I can make it into the academia as an official student, I'll be happy.
Yeah. Bravissimo. Parla con noi. Quindi questa qua va anche nel seminterrato ogni tanto. Ah, quella lì dell'accademia.
Everybody? Mm-hmm. 3 familiar faces should be enough for Sataria.
What's the point of all the information we've collected? Nahida, you still haven't told us how you're planning to make Sataria face her problems.
Sataria is already used to avoiding her problems, so we must find a way to break through her usual sensibilities. I remember you mentioned that the Eremites in Port Ormuz are all making a fuss about the upcoming resurrection of King Deshert.
Vabbè, mi ricordo che avete menzionato il fatto che gli eremiti stanno facendo tanto clamore per la resurrezione di Radesh.
Although it's all just a boatload of nonsense, the faith of her homeland may turn out to be Sataria's soft spot.
Oh, Paimon gets it now! You want to take advantage of the guilt Sataria feels about her homeland. Although she knows she should return home to help the people of the desert, all she's done is conspire with the sages.
Le azioni di Satara venissero criticate da Daesh se Radesh dovesse mettere Satara su pressione.
So, how do we set that up?
Well, King Deshret is long gone, and Sataria is also too smart to fall for any simple tricks. If we simply engaged her under the guise of King Deshret's believers, she would definitely be wary of us, and we may not get anywhere.
Quindi?
But if we were to borrow some of her close acquaintances to talk with her, her reaction would probably be very different.
So, you mean you're going to possess those people we just talked to?
Yep. Possess them through the Akasha. Imply they've already converted to the faith of King Deshret, and then convey our made-up will of King Deshret. As long as everything goes smoothly, we'll get through to Sataria for sure. She'll never guess that we had anything to do with it.
Speriamo.
So that's how you're going to use all the info we collected on these people. It's so that you won't slip up and break form. Possessing them will only work if you can manage to pass off as them.
Exactly. So, best of luck with impersonating them.
Yeah.
Huh? Best of luck? But we don't know how to possess anyone.
That's no problem at all. I'll just share all their senses with you once I've possessed them. As long as you're also wearing an Akasha terminal, the effect will basically be as if you've possessed them
Wow,
yourself.
forte.
Huh. That is pretty convenient. But why does he have to do this? Can't you do it yourself?
Although I've been observing humans for a while, I I've never been good at imitating them.
You're not wrong. It's always been painfully obvious whenever you try to pass as Catherine.
If it was at all possible, I would have preferred to leave these people alone. But seeing how things are now, I probably should just accept it and push on.
Yeah, don't beat yourself up over it. We're only doing this to help everyone, and we'll only be borrowing them for a little while anyway.
Alright, then let's give it a go tomorrow afternoon.
Va bene. Aspetta fino a domani, giusto? Allora. Aspetta fino a domani pomeriggio. Già le 22, metti che non dormiamo. Ma cos'è domani pomeriggio? Che cacchio di ora è, scusa? Fare il mezzogiorno? Sì. No, perché ogni tanto dice pomeriggio tardi. Quindi vi facciamo riposare sti ragazzi. I guess. Siamo al 55. Le variazioni non devono essere superiori a 30 minuti. And vai al mercato e metti in atto. Eccolo. I'm the best.
Oh, here she comes. Satori is here.
Poi nascosto.
Let's quietly follow her. Once she starts talking to her acquaintances, we'll find a safe spot to begin.
Catherine, mi fa ridere. E c'è Catherine. Che abbiamo Catherine. Come migliore guardia del corpo quasi.
I trust you'll know what to say.
Paimon's starting to feel kind of nervous. Okay, let's go.
Speriamo.
Looks like they've already started talking. Let's find a hiding spot and get started.
Catherine malvagio. What? Ah, fuck.
That's right. You really can't force anything when it comes to love. And besides, everyone around me has a very different background and outlook.
Ma non si può fare niente, poi non sono circondata da persone con origini e mentalità molto diverse da loro.
Are you still listening to me, Nabia?
Oh, of course I'm listening. You were talking about troubles with your love life, right? I heard everything you said.
Okay then. You just seemed a little distracted for a moment there. Strange. Your cats seem pretty worked up. Is something wrong? I always thought they were quiet, happy kitties. Oh, what are their names again?
Sai che non mi ricordo, non ci ho fatto caso. Penso questo. Però non ho guardato che nome avevano. Non mi ricordo, secondo me fosse... Amurut Amuru, Arut e Marut. Mates. Che vuoi ricordarmi le cose più stupide? Secondo me è quello.
Are you sure? Those aren't ringing.
Vabbè.
Well, actually, they have many names. Which names I use depends on my mood.
Huh, I see. I imagine that must be hard for the kitties, too.
So, which fortune do you want me to read for you today? You must have come for another echo of the divine voice of wisdom.
I'd like to get another reading on my love prospects, but to be perfectly honest with you, I feel like I've been a real mess recently.
Sembra che tutti hanno dei problemi di amore.
A mess?
Ma
Well, could you do a reading on how long it'll take me to finish my current project at work? I really just want to get it over with.
I hear you. No problem at all. The gods will reveal the truth.
Gli dei hanno parlato. Oh, gli dei hanno parlato. Gli dei hanno parlato.
The gods are asking. Sitaria, why haven't you gone home?
Why haven't I gone home? Do the gods really know everything I've been thinking about?
Sitaria, why don't you just go home? It's a demand now instead of a question. The gods seem to be truly upset.
I'm sorry. I know I failed the gods. Please pass on my most sincere apologies and ask for their divine forgiveness. And if I may ask, Nabia, is there a specific god who's speaking to you right now?
What an inconsiderate and naive question. The god who is speaking to me is, of course, the wisest and mightiest of all, King Deshert.
King Deshert? No wonder he would make such a demand of me. Wait a second. King Deshert passed away a long time ago. Even though news of King Desheret's resurrection has been spreading like wildfire, it's all just a misinformation campaign from the academia. How can King Deshert still exist in real life?
È una campagna di informazione quella di Deshert.
What insolence! I am King Desheret's most loyal believer. Do you wish to refute his voice of wisdom?
Oh, no. As a child of the desert, I am only reveling in his power upon learning that his divine glory has touched even this city. I will think very carefully about his demand of me. I'm sorry. I must go now.
Wait!
Siamo più furbi di quanto le pensi.
Whoa, she just ran off in a hurry. She looked pretty upset too.
Noi siamo ancora
Well done. Sitaria didn't seem to suspect anything amiss. To have something she's been trying desperately to avoid show up out of nowhere and berate her, that must have shaken her to the core.
Aw, Nahida, it seems like you understand human emotions really well after all.
You will.
All I know are some abstract Harava-taught theories. And in any case, my time with you has shown a lot of them to be utterly useless. I'm still trying to make sense of everything.
Ha senso.
Anyway, enough of that. Let's hurry and catch up to Sitaria.
Va bene.
She's out of games now, right on cue. Let's get ready to visit.
Naida penso che diventerà uno dei miei Akon preferiti. Cioè, quello che mi piace di più è 20. 20 mi piace tantissimo, però non so. Naida è simpaticissima.
It's okay. I just got caught up in something.
Hello.
Oh, actually, didn't you ask me to help you look for work? What kind of work were you looking for again?
Edilizia.
Oh, right. Your old man's craft. How could I forget? Speaking of, how's he doing? Is he feeling any better?
Sente meglio, ora riesce anche a camminare un po' di più. Era rotto... non si era rotto la gamba.
Oh, that's good to hear. I have been thinking a lot about him. If I could get some more time off, I'd love to pay him a visit. Actually, while we're talking about him, is he still living in Port Ormos?
Yeah, he's been retired there for a while.
If you could find the time, please write him a letter. Let him know that recently, faith in King Deshert has taken root in Port Ormos and has begun to spread across Sumeru. He has a quick temper and has always been a devout follower of the Dendro Archon. I don't want him to get into a fight with those King Deshret believers because of a difference in beliefs.
Oh? So, who are you siding with in all of this? The Academia or King Deshret? I'm so jealous of you. You were born a child of the desert, yet you chose to betray King Deshret, and now you spend all your time with those crooks from the Academia.
Beh.
Akeem, you don't mean you've also become a believer of King Deshret?
What's so strange about becoming a believer of the wise King Deshret? In fact, aren't you the strange one? The one who still can't pick a side?
Can't pick a side? Me?
My God.
Whoa! Paimon had no idea you'd be so good at this.
Non sono stato troppo duro.
You really zeroed in on the issue and put it right in front of her. It might feel a bit overwhelming for Sataria. But once everything is over, I'll be sure to pay her a visit to her mind and explain everything. Anyway, let's keep going.
Mimini. Seguila.
Come on! Sataria's already started talking with Shishan!
Yeah, I guess. Che forte. Mi piace questa visuale divertente.
So, Shishan, have you noticed anything weird in the city lately? Like, as if someone was trying to preach to you about something?
Sono stato a studiare in
Oh,
cimitero.
right. Speaking of strange things, I celebrated the Sub-Zerus festival so many times that I lost count. That was really weird.
Beh.
Wait, how could you be aware of that? That should be impossible. Nothing in the report indicated anything like that.
Are you still failing to realize that the Academia's lowly tricks could never deceive all of Sumeru's citizens?
Shishan, don't tell me that you've converted to King Deshret as well.
Beh.
What an absurd question. You make it sound like I should be ashamed for becoming a believer of King Deshret. In reality, shouldn't you be the one who is ashamed? You, who worked side by side with the Academia and treated people as nothing more than experimental subjects?
Pizzica.
Please, please stop!
Una parte mi dispiace.
Wow, Sataria's still trying to run from her problems.
Troppo duro.
She can no longer justify everything to herself.
Hey, she's trying to talk to the guards! What should we do?
This is the most important part of all. Quick, get ready.
Ok.
Mercenary, you're a member of the Corps of 30, correct? Please help me pass a message to the Matcha right away. The situation in the city is getting out of control.
Please, try to remain calm, miss. Tell me what's happening in the city.
Heretics are infiltrating the city, and they've already converted many residents to their side.
Heretics? What kind of heresy are you talking about?
Di nuovo.
King Deshert! Many people I know have suddenly started believing in him, but he's long dead. It's impossible.
Miss Sataria, nothing is impossible.
You know my name?
King Deshert is immortal, and all who defy him will one day pay the price. You must face the truth, Sataria. You tread a treacherous path, and the longer you ignore it, the tighter the Academia's grasp on you will become, and the deeper you will be ensnared.
Vizzica,
Tired, King
Ita.
Deshret. Never forget that the desert that belongs to you lies elsewhere.
What's so strange about becoming a believer of the wise King Deshret? In fact, aren't you the strange one? The one who still can't pick a side?
Secco.
What an absurd question. You make it sound like I should be ashamed for becoming a believer of King Deshret.
Sataria, why haven't you gone home?
It seems that no matter where I run, I only keep finding more believers of King Deshret. I have to say, this is a familiar feeling. I've also been running from my guilt this whole time. Guilt over my part in the sage's plans, and from ignoring the letters from the children of my homeland.
Adesso mi metto poi giù a riposare, finiamo
No
solo
matter
questa
how much I may
missione.
try to ignore or get rid of it, my guilt always comes back.
Segui il tuo cuore.
You won't necessarily lose your research opportunities by facing the truth. Besides, did you really want to conduct your research while carrying such heavy feelings of guilt?
How do you know me so well? Are you truly just a believer of King Deshret? Or are you the god himself?
That's not important. The important thing is to pass judgment on the Academia and its sages, and to correct their mistakes. If you could provide some assistance in this matter, perhaps it could serve as a form of atonement.
I've actually never believed in the gods, but I've always believed in serendipity. Your appearance must be a fated opportunity for me to get out of this wretched situation. Please tell me, what can I do for you?
Abbiamo convinto.
How much do you know about the sage's current activities?
I was just one of the designers for the masked dream harvest scheme, which is what happened around the Sub-Zeru's festival. But I know very little about the full scope of the overall project. I'd assume that only staff with the highest clearance would have access to those confidential documents. I've just been working to meet the Grand Sage's specified requirements. However, there's something that's been really bothering me. I heard that a scholar who was previously expelled has returned to the city, and even the sages are still quite wary of him.
Un reietto del cuore per fini assaggi non sono molto diffidenti.
To fight against the Academia, we will need to figure out the nature and the purpose of their work. Is there a way for us to get access to the confidential documents you mentioned?
It should be possible if we're willing to take some risks. After all, I'm an assistant to the Grand Sage, and I've been working on many tasks outside of the project. One thing, though, I won't be able to transfer the documents to you through the Akasha once I get my hands on them. The sages have always closely monitored all activities within the Akasha. Let me see... let's use the most primitive method. Send someone to pick up the documents tomorrow evening at the Academia entrance.
Yeah.
The Academia entrance. Wouldn't that be too conspicuous?
Don't worry about that. I assure you, this won't be a trap. I'm only suggesting this location because it'll draw more scrutiny for me to leave the Academia again. It'll be safest for me to distract the guards long enough to hand you the documents.
All right, I trust you.
So, if I were to successfully complete this task, would it mean I've atoned for my wrongdoings?
That'll depend on the judgment of the Dendro Archon.
The Dendro Archon. That's right. Her people are the ones we have endangered. Has the god of wisdom. She's also the one responsible for judging and guiding the scholars. Maybe it's time for me to find a god to believe in.
Just as Nahida predicted, we've managed to bring Sataria to our side!
The Traveler's execution was ingenious. He's the one who deserves all the praise.
Che forte!
Well, now that we've made plans to meet again tomorrow evening, all we can do is pray for Sataria's mission to go off without a hitch.
Pray? But if we're going to pray to the gods, aren't we just praying to you? God of wisdom and guardian of the scholars?
No. The truth is the true guardian of scholars. I've always believed that. Anyway, let's meet again tomorrow evening.
Per la custodia degli studiosi è la verità. Allora, io mi fermo qua. A seconda cosa, che orario mi danno, torno o non torno, va bene? Se non mi vedete stasera. Se mi vedete per un'oretta vi spiego cosa succede, eccetera. Va bene? Quindi mi fermo proprio qua. E me ne vado a dormire per mezz'oretta o finché non arriva il messaggio. Mi dicono il luogo di lavoro. Vabbè. Ciao.